Today we're diving into the world of Alan Rickman, one of Hollywood's most underrated actors. Hi and welcome to Real 35. Today we're looking a little bit closer at Alan Rickman and what I believe is his top 10 movie roles. There is going to be one movie where he acted in a series. Now I think you all know what we're talking about, but I didn't want to select more than one to give us a bit more of a wider range of his film career, and I chose what I thought was his best one. So stick around and see which one that is and where it fits on the list. Okay, so straight in at number 10 is Love Actually. Now this particular movie wasn't really my kind of movie, so this is more honorable mention just for the fact that it was such a popular movie and it really brought out Alan Rickman's kind of acting skill and the fact that he could be so varied. I mean, it has a great cast. It's got Hugh Grant, it's got Emma Thompson, it's got Colin Firth. It's a quintessential British movie that came out around the time that Britain was the in thing. You had the Spice Girls, you had Oasis, you had David Beckham. Everything was just on the rise at this time. And I just think it had to make the top 10 just for the fact that it was such a big movie. And it's like Marmite really, you love it or hate it. The critics hated it at the time, but it became a fan favorite. So just as an honorable mention, yeah, definitely Love Actually in at number 10. Okay, moving into number 9 is Alice in Wonderland. I've chosen this because it's not an easy role, and this isn't the first role where you just have Alan Rickman's voice. But to pull it off, I think it takes a different kind of special kind of acting, and he pulls it off well because without your physical appearance, you have to use your voice to portray your character, and he does it so well. About the movie, it stars Johnny Depp. It's directed by Tim Burton. Well, Johnny Depp and Tim Burton work a lot together. Other stars are, and I'm going to read this out because I don't want to butcher her name, Mia Wasikowska. Hope I didn't get that wrong. I hope I didn't butcher it too much. Please forgive me. And yeah, Anne Hathaway. I just thought it was visually very appealing, and without reading too much into it, it was a story for kids, and my kids enjoyed it. So that's why it makes it into my top 10 and sitting nicely at number 9. Number 8 is Galaxy Quest. And you might be surprised with that because it's not really a mainstream movie already. Well, I wouldn't say a great movie, but I think Alan Rickman played the part really well. So much to say that Sigourney Weaver said it suited him perfectly. And that's the other thing, this movie actually lured some really big names. I mean, you had Tim Allen, who was at the height of his career. He was doing the TV series, Home Improvement, and one of the highest paid actors at the time. You had Sigourney Weaver, you had Sam Rockwell, and Alan Rickman, to me, stood out as the best. And it was kind of strange to watch it because it was as if he was playing himself if he wasn't successful, if he was like a stage actor. It was very, very close to home, I think. I think he was even quoted as saying stuff like, you know, it's very airy that he's doing this role. So great performance by Alan Rickman. The movie was okay, but with its stars, it was a good movie. Give it a watch if you haven't watched it. Number 8. Number 7 is Bottle Shock. This movie, it came under the radar. It wasn't really publicized that well. It wasn't really well known. And I thought it deserved a place in the top 10. I watched this movie a few times, and Alan Rickman's performance is great in it, as always. So that's one of the reasons it made it into the top 10. But in the beginning, Alan Rickman plays quite a vital role. And in the middle somewhere, it gets a bit blurry of who the main actor is, what's really happening. I think it loses its way a bit, personally. But near the end, Alan Rickman comes back in, and the film has character. Now, I don't know if it was Alan Rickman or just the character, but he felt like he was in this movie for a lot longer than he was, and I think he tied it all up very well. So for that, it definitely gets my place in the top 10, and at number 7, it is Bottle Shock. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is our number 6. This movie was great. If you haven't watched it, you've got to. It's the story of the ordinary guy set to save the world. It's based on a legendary novel by the same title. Alan Rickman plays a robot, but a kind of a depressed. The best way to describe it is a robotic Eeyore from, Winnie the Pooh and that. It's just brilliant, and just go watch it. It's got a great British cast. It's got Martin Freeman, Sam Rockwell. It's got so much going for it, and it really draws you in, and it's fun. So that's our number 6. In at number 5 is Sweeny Todd, directed by Tim Burton and starring Johnny Depp. This is a dark musical, and it suits Tim Burton's film style. Alan Rickman plays Judge Turpin, and I think he did a really great job, just like all the other movies, but I really enjoyed this movie. It's different, it's typical kind of Tim Burton. Just go watch it. Now. And at number 4, we have Dogma. One of my all-time favorite movies growing up. It's got a great cast. It's got 2 amazing duos in the likes of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, Jay and Silent Bob. If you like Mallrats or Clerks, this is a definite must-watch. And let me just leave you with this before we move on to number 3. Something that Kevin Smith said about Alan Rickman.
Look, I've worked with a lot of wonderful actors, and some of them are still living, so hopefully they won't take offense to this when I say Alan Rickman was hands down the finest fucking actor that I ever worked with, and the pinnacle of my...
We're nearly there, folks, and thank you for sticking around. If you're liking the content, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for any future content. So, without further ado, number 3 is Harry Potter. And the Harry Potter I've chosen was Deathly Hallows Part 2. I've chosen this because Alan Rickman's character had major revelations, and emotional depth. This was by far my personal favorite Harry Potter movie of them all as well. I don't know, it just hit a chord. Maybe because I was already a Alan Rickman fan, but I just really liked it, and I think it really caught his character better than any of the others. And I just want to say, I really appreciate him being involved in Harry Potter, because all the movies he acted in throughout his career is leaving him a legacy where people can see him in the future or look back and his legacy lives on because he was such an amazing actor. But with Harry Potter, because he did the series, because of the character, Professor Snape was so, it's intertwined with a lot of young people and old people, but I think this is gonna move him generation to generation. And yeah, I just, whoever cast him, thank you. I think you did the world a justice. My number 2 is Die Hard. Now, it was a real difficult decision between 1 and 2, but I ultimately chose this because I just love the character. Even though number 1, and you'll most probably guess what number 1 is by now if you know Alan Rickman's movies, I just thought he was a great villain. And an interesting fact is that this was his first movie role in Hollywood. This was his first, film debut. So I just think that's really interesting as well. He played the baddie so well, just a really great movie. And if you want to know why, I think it is the all-time greatest Christmas movie. Just go have a look at the video that's popping up either over there or over there. You'll enjoy it. And the moment everybody's been waiting for, number 1, it is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It had to be. for me, it had to be. I grew up, this was, I think, one of the first movies I actually went to the cinema and watched, that I can remember. And Kevin Costner, he actually played well in it. And he's not a bad actor, but I just don't know if he's got a lot of emotion with any of his roles. I don't really see it. He's not a bad actor. He's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's successful, so he's doing something right. But I think Alan Rickman helped the whole movie with his character. He's a very bad man. And some of the lines he comes out with is really, really bad. But I still think he had a touch of comedy when he said certain things. And it made you actually like him. I liked the Sheriff of Nottingham. I really liked it. And it was because of how Alan Rickman portrayed that role. So yeah, that's why it's my number one. I think he made that movie. I think if it wasn't for him and Morgan Freeman, it wouldn't have been that great. So that is definitely my number one, and I hope you enjoyed this list. Like I said before, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Give me a comment, give me something down below, write something below that you want me to do in the future, and I will credit you. And I most probably will do it, especially now that the channel is young. I will do it. And go watch the other videos, because I'm nervous. I'm still nervous. This is new to me, and it should be at least entertaining. So thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy and keep watching good movies. I've got to get a cool tagline some way, somehow. Help.